graduated from Harvard at a particular time, and it was checked while they were living. They were checked to be were asked how many of them have a clear goal, and only less than 5% of them brought a clear goal of what they intend to achieve. Even though they actually were graduating from one of the best schools in the world. It's actually the best school in the world right now, aside from Cambridge. But several years later, this same set of persons were gathered again for what we call school, school reunion. And then the school authority took their time because they actually set up that system for a research. So they took their time to go back and check each and every one of them. Out of the entire persons who actually went through that class of Harvard, the only people that actually made significant impact in their chosen career were that less than 4% or 5%. The rest 95% were just managing through life. So what am I trying to bring up here? The truth about it is, one of the reasons why when we call for meetings like this, is as if it is few that shows up, is that it's only few that eventually sees it necessary to do what we call scheduling, do what we call planning around it, to do what we call goal setting around it. Every other person actually easy go, easy come. They come in if they choose, and then they go around if they don't want. If their emotion tells them not to continue with the process, they shut down. If somebody annoys them, they tell themselves, what's the essence? If for any reason, maybe their dog pulls on the walkway, they will tell themselves, no, let me just, this dog has spoiled my day. And for that reason, they may not even continue with what they plan doing. So that is also why we should not be surprised when some of us, when we discover that the number, rather than increasing, sometimes windows and then go up and down. It's only few of them who have actually made commitment and decided that this, we must follow it through to the end because we know it's going to be beneficial, that eventually gets the best out of it. And these are the very same few that eventually make the most of every one of the conditions that they find themselves. And let me also be frank with you. The way we do one thing is almost the way we do everything. So if you think that in one area you won't plan properly, you won't make necessary commitment, you won't also involve the proper discipline to hold on to it, and we think we'll hold on to it on the other side or in another area, we may be disappointed. Or most times by statistics, we'll be disappointed because we just discover that the same pattern that runs in the other area of our lives is the same pattern that spills over in every other area. So I want us to take this seriously. It's just a few days of learning. And then don't forget, the only thing that distinguishes or makes a difference between the high flyers, the high achievers, and the lower or the least achievers is what we call what? Commitment. Commitment. Commitment to what they have decided they are going to do, and they follow it through. And then also, commitment not just to anything, but commitment to some few things. One of them is training. Training like this. Commitment to accessing necessary information. Like I started the previous day when we started, I made us understand that 3 things actually what makes difference in the life of people. One of them is the information they have access to. That's what actually the difference between Bill Gates and some of us. His eyes was open to the what's it called, the computer world early enough. His friends were doing every other thing, but that was one area he actually had interest in, and he committed himself to it. And if you read that his story, you will be shocked that they had to do everything. Of course, their school had available place where they could work. There's a huge frame computer in the 60s where they could work. But beyond that, they had to do necessary commitment. They had to pay a lot of prices to ensure that they're able to get the proper educations and information they need to be able to move his company forward. The second one is the people we interface with. My dear, I won't lie you, but my life has actually tremendously changed. None of the things that I've actually become in the last 10 years were possible if not for men. I met some few persons. I met this guy here. I met the other guy here. I met this guy here. I met the other guy here. There's a place I'm actually doing a little business consultancy and then also partnership with government for a while now. It was just one meeting. I knew a friend from after service who now served the same time with this same guy. And we met in Lagos, not knowing much was going to happen. And all of a sudden, before you know it, he moved into Abuja. Along the line, we brokered what? A deal. And it's been running for over 5 years or more. So it is the people we meet that will determine how far we go. So it is people's word. Our eyes is on God for those of us who are Christians. But the truth is, God is going to use men. And that's why when we meet people, we respect them, and then we make sure that we're not chasing after men, but also we must work very hard to build cordial relationship and proper relationship with men. Because these are the people that are actually going to introduce us to people in high places. They are the ones that are going to change our narrative. We can't write our story without writing men or penning men down. So please, our relationship is very key. And the last one is passion. Every man who had become whatever they have become was born out of passion. Consistency in what I do and what you do till now is because of passion. So you must be passionate about what you do. The same thing with this particular project. If you're not passionate about it, you are going to lose. And by tomorrow, you will tell us, you will tell people how much or how many things you've tried your hands on that didn't work. Passion is what keeps you on it, even when it's not looking like it's working, even though it's working internally. Passion is what keeps you going back and forth on it. Passion is what will keep you on it, come rain, come shine. So we must ensure that our passion burns high. And it's a mindset thing. It's not, I am not the passionate type. Is realizing I'm changing the frame of your mind, your mindset, to tell yourself these things that once ever I put my hands on, I must do with all my heart, with all my strength, with all my energy, with every resources I have. So it is one thing that we must effectively infuse in what we do. Passion, 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 passion. Like I mentioned again, passion. We must infuse it in what we're doing. And also in this business I'm about to take us through. So, and then I will tell us a very short story. Very, very short story. So to also let us understand that the truth about it is wealth is a thing that comes out of personal decision and passion. It is not what falls on your lap. It is something that you must work on. Several years ago, a friend told me this story and it changed everything about me. And I'm about to tell you the same story so that you'll realize how much power and how much force you have inside of you to decide how much you make out of this season of hardship. Two guys, two very young friends, all of a sudden, in their times, there was this issue of palm reading, or reading of palm was very popular. So one day they came back from school. After school, they were walking back home. On their way back home, they just stopped. They saw one particular place with a temple where they say, come in and read your palm in their village. And two of them said, let's just go in and read our palm now. And that was how they entered. When they got in there, the first guy showed the priest his palm. And the priest looked at the palm and said, wow, that this community has a king. And the boy said, who is the king? How can the king be in my palm? And the man said, the future king of this community is you. That's the boy, Mr. A. I don't want to call their name. So Mr. A was the future king. And two of them were excited. They hugged themselves. They jumped around. And then the second guy was jumping. And all of a sudden, the excitement came low. And the second guy says, my turn. If he's the king, maybe I'm actually the king assistant. And the guy gave him his palm, and then he took the palm. By the time he looked at the palm, he told him he looked at it and told him that I've just realized it, that you are going to be the poorest man in our town. And when he said that, the two boys were so sad. The guy was so sad. His friend was so sad. But truth be told, they believe this king, this particular priest, because the priest, his word is final. Whatever he says is true. He doesn't go around trying to play with words. So he meant everything or every bit of what he has said. So the both boys were sad. But somewhere along the line, when they were about to leave the temple, the other guy, something just welled up within him. And the guy went back to the priest and told him that what your people or your God saw may be true, but I will prove your boss or your God wrong. And then the man laughed at him, laughed him to stop. And then he walked to his friends, and they left the temple. Several years later, they graduated from their school, the college, or not the secondary school. And then by the time they were done from secondary school, the guy decided, he packed his things and said, if I stay back in this village, I will be doomed. So he gathered his few things, he left the village, and he went to another town. When they got to that town, he decided he was going to walk himself to, he was going to walk off his stocks. He was going to walk off his stocks. And so he resumed at one of the biggest men in the village, his farm. This guy will walk from day to midnight. The night will fall, he will still be walking. And as he's walking, he was earning money. Most people at that time too, because they were comfortable in it, was their village, they didn't want to walk. The guy walked his socks off. And several years later, the man he was working for, his children were busy with a lot of stuff, and then they were not so serious with the deal or the business. But this guy was making money, and because he knew, he wanted to also, not just to prove the gods wrong, but he wanted to also let them know that he was not going to be the poorest man in his town. What did he decide to do? He was saving his money in gold. When they pay him, he will convert the money. When he gets to a level, he convert it to, and then he goes to buy gold and he keeps. He goes to buy gold and he keeps. He goes to buy gold and he was keeping. Several years later, this guy had gathered so much gold while still working on the farm of that man. And before you know it, he started buying the land in that village piece by piece with the money he has gathered. And times like this will always come where things are hard. He was gathering the money, he was buying the lands in the village of, and as he buys the land, he works on it. After a while, he gathers people, he puts them on the land. At a point, he will gather more people, he will make more money, he will buy more land, he will put them on it. Before you know it, after 9 years, he was the highest owner of land in that particular land, village or community. And then half of the people in the village were now working on his farms. He became one of the richest men. And he continued on that particular idea or strategy he knew. So before you know it, more than 2/3 of the land of the village was belonging to him. The only people who had their land still within their possession were those who were the big shots of the village, the king and few other persons. And then this guy was like the biggest producer of food. He was the one who was sponsoring the entire food that the village was eating. He was the highest producer of, or the highest producer of food in the village. His food or his crops were not just going to the village. All the laboring villages were depending on his production to survive. Immediately, what happened? Famine came like he came this time. At this season, people are still buying property in this town, and people are selling off and running to Canada. But this same time came in their land. And what happened? From nowhere, food was scarce. And before you know it, the other village where he came from heard that there was food in that community. So they sent someone there to go and get food. When they got there, they discovered, oh, this guy is a very generous big man and he can help us. When they got the food the first time, the second time, their king told them, please tell this man to come and then give us food or become the highest to support our village. And the man told him, what I do normally is, for me to support any village, I take proper ownership of the village, meaning they give me almost all the lands in the village. So even though it is famine, I get the people to still work on it so that some food can be raised. And then the village now gets food from me, and I make sure they are sustained. Without the guy not knowing, without the king of that village not knowing, they signed a document that allows him to become the full owner of most of the farms land in the village. The day he was going to go there, when he went there with his entourage, the king rolled out their band. Everybody came out to the street, bowing down, praising their what? Their savior. Even the king, when he met the man, he bowed down to him. And then because of the transformation, he didn't even realize that that was his old friend. He only told him, oh, you look familiar. Have you ever been in our village? It was after the ceremony finished, and they were now sitting in the king's waiting room. That the king, or sitting in the king's, what's it called? Sitting living room. The king asked him, and mentioned it again. And he told him, I am Mr. B, your friend from so years. And why I stayed back, I have so many things, commitment to have run back to. But why I stayed back is that, please, if you make out time, go back to that priest and told him that, and tell him that I proved the gods wrong. I don't want to give you the morals of this story. We don't have the time. But I want you to know very well that the future and the prosperity of you depends on you. I don't care what prophecies be made. I don't care what people say. The question is, are you ready to roll off your sleeves like I just did? Then walk off your stockings or your socks. If you're ready to do that, then I'm going to actually share with you one of the best opportunities that would get you to make you a millionaire in 3 months. One of the opportunities that will transform your life forever. And that's the opportunity I've embraced. It's my own opportunity. I'm offering you what I have. So I want you to come in early, because there's no better time to come in. So we'll go straight to the point. I also shared with us a few days ago about how the business started. It was started in someone's living room, and that is the CEO, Madam Miriam A.A. Amos. And it was a business that came in as a result of trying to also make her mark and impact in transforming Nigeria, where moving us from the area of what consuming, but to also manufacturing country. So with that yearning in her heart, she decided, okay, let's do something. And that was how and one of the industry, which is our own first concern industry by Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs, was food. Food. And that was when she decided, okay, let's actually play in the food area. And we started with a particular one, we just want one particular project. And that's what we want to bring you on. And that was a peanuts product. And she started with the sum of 15,000 naira. And from 15,000 naira, today that business is worth over 200 billion naira, 200 million naira, over 200 million naira. So I don't want to go back to bore you with the entire process of how the business moved from A to Z. But I also want you to realize that it is something you must jump into immediately. And that is why I am calling us all to take advantage of the opportunity right now. Right now, the business has moved to another level. People all over Nigeria are jumping and then moving in line to be a part of what we're doing. And so I want you to quickly take advantage of it. Take advantage of what we are doing right now by jumping in. And I want you to also understand the project is actually a very easy one. Why do I say so? And what makes us very different? One, is actually a food and consumable product. It is a peanut product. It's a product that people, the last carton I had, it was finished in my neighborhood within 2 days, only by 2 people. And after then, they've been asking me, is there no more? and it's a carton of 72 sachets. So that's to tell you how much these things can be consumed. I didn't take it to Aboki. It was just in my own compound. So it is a food product that sells very, very fast. So if we're marketers and believe so well and love selling, it is one area that we're going to actually make a hell of money. We are going to make so much money if we engage in this. Secondly, also, it's a product that is concerned about the people. So normally what had to be done is, instead of giving it to distributors, which was done, which the company, which we did some years ago, for 4 years past, 4 years to 3 years ago, it was being sold through distributors who have to bring 10 million, some will have to bring 15 million, some have to bring 20 million, depending on the package you're coming in. But at this season, in her kindness and realizing how bad our economy is, the CEO decided that we're going to use common people as our distributor. Meaning all you do is, with the sum of 30,000 naira, you can become a distributor in this business. So there's no complaint. There's no excuse. Also, it was well arranged and well calculated, so not to shortchange us. That's also the third one. So that everybody that comes in becomes a wealthy person through the system. Meaning, what am I saying? With the sum of 30,000 naira, if you work very hard, the minimum you can make is 2 million naira within 3 months. It is much more than that. If you have some level of people in your net or in your circle, if you have some big people in your circle that are coming in with higher package, in 1 month, you can make that 2 million naira. So what am I trying to tell us? I'm trying to tell us that it's actually something that is big, that if only we can jump in now, then we can also make so much out of it. So it is time to jump in. It is time to jump in. It is time to jump in. That's the only thing I'm trying to let us understand. Also, I also want us to know on the fourth note, that it is something that right now, it is very easy to actually be a part of it. Because frankly speaking, the company is doing all the work right now. We're actually working very hard to see that everybody comes on board. The product is to be launched by the end of the month, but seminar is already done in several places. We've repeated seminars in Lagos severally, with hundreds of people coming in and then signing up. We've done several seminars. We've done seminar in Abuja, and several seminars, and also this webinar is not just being done with you guys here on the platform. As I yesterday, when we were done by 5 o'clock, I had a meeting with some persons too, between 5 and 6 o'clock. And these guys are big networkers in Abuja who will come on board. And so for those of us who are actually going to be early birds, we will jump in, and these people, as they're coming in, because the company is doing the work, they are going to just be stations under you. They will be under you, because right now, we want also to have a lot of social proof. And those social proof are going to come from your stories and my stories. Your stories and my stories. So you can be shocked that when you come in now, you will be shocked the number of persons that will be coming under you immediately. So please, and that is why it is easy that we come in now. What are our products? Few of them, even though we're starting with peanut. One of them is, the major one is peanuts, which is the flagship product. But outside the peanut, we have the palm oil, we have the cereal, we have the cookies, we have spices, and then all of that, some other few other products. But basically, we want to concentrate on what? Food products. What we know is consumed every day. What we know is consumed every day. So, and then the next question is, how do we come in? I don't want to take most of our time today, so I will be brief on them. How do we come in? It is time to come in, and you can only come in now. A time will come when if actually you decide to come in, a lot of persons should have taken the space. And don't forget, multi-level marketing, which is what I'm going to introduce to you, is even though there's distribution line alongside of it. If you want to just do sales, you can actually still make so much money from the system. But also, the multi-level marketing part of it leaves those who are at the top earning the most, because it's actually a pyramid. It falls this way. So if you are an early bird, and then most of the job that we're going to do is done for you, then you can be sure that you're actually going to make the most out of it in a short while. So the guys that are coming later, of course, are going to make a lot of money because the system is actually robust. But if you come in early, you're going to make much more. So we advise that we actually step in right now. What are the opportunities that are in? What are the doors of wealth? Because that's one thing I want to share with us first. What are the ways by which we make the money? The first is we are going to, our system is actually 5x5 metrics, where 5 person brings 5 person, and then mentor them, because it's actually leadership, whatever platform. If you're a leader, this is a place to come in. If you think there are people who you can influence, it's also a place to come in. If you think a lot of persons within your system are not living the life they want or you want, it's time to come in. 2 days ago, I had to speak to every family member, my family members, because they are concerned to me. Every month they call me and it's actually money, money, money. It is time for them to actually begin to make this money, big time too. So I had to reach out to them, and I told them this weekend we'll be having a webinar where I will be addressing most of these things for them. So if you have people which are within who you lead in the church or in other places that you think needs to come out of whatever is going on, it's time to actually bring them in. It's time to bring them in. So, and the first of it all, it's the what we call what referral bonus. If you have need for the, please, Madam Esther, can you kindly send the One Profit Center, the image of it, to the platform? Send it on the chat group, so that everybody who is on this group can just go in and then pick it up. Just a screenshot of
it. Okay, in a minute.
Okay, fine. So please just go to the chat group, and then you will find it, download it, and just take a look at it. But please give me what's it called? Your listening.
You mean the investment or the referral bonus?
No, just the chat where I have wealth conversion system, the chat, the One Profit Center, so that people can have a mind, a frame, or what's it called, a mental whatever when I'm explaining. Just the first one. One Profit Center chat.
All right. All right.
So basically, the referral bonus, which she just mentioned, is the first way of earning. There's also a way of selling where you make yourself just by selling products. For those of us who are actually marketers who want to sell products, there's a place where we'll come in and we'll make a lot of money. And since it's a product that when you keep in a bus stop, if you go to your bus stop and you keep one aboki there, in one day, they will sell 10 cartons. So, and then if we now begin to, for those of us who have understanding of market, we decide to go into the markets to push it. You can be shocked. You won't be shocked, because all of these guys, provision guys, will actually sell most of the product even before you come back. And the supermarkets, for those of us who are close to supermarket, we're going to make a lot of money from sales, just sales of the product. So I want to go straight into referral bonus. Referral bonus is actually quite easy. It means that when you bring somebody to sign under you, that 5 persons that are meant to sign under you, when you bring them, when they sign up, depending on the package they sign up on top on, you're going to get some what's it called, bonuses that are paid to you. You get certain amount dropping into your account immediately the person signs up. One of them, the first referral bonus, is if for any reason we have 5 ways of coming in. 5 ways of coming in. Please take note of this. The number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, the number 5. If the person comes in from the first way of coming in, and the person signs under you, you get, and the person pays the sum of 29,000, approximately 30,000 naira, you get the sum of 1,000 naira as your referral bonus. If the person that comes in with the second package, get the sum of 4,000 naira as your referral bonus. If the person comes in with the third package, you get the sum of 5,500 naira as your referral package, your referral bonus. If the person comes in with what? The fourth package, you get the sum of how much? 16,000 naira as immediately as your referral bonus. If the person come in with the highest package, which is 30,000 naira, which is 30, what's it called? Which is about 900,000 naira, you get the sum of 30,000 naira immediately as your referral package. But there are other opportunities also for referring. One of them is investment package. If the person come in as an investor, instantly you are created with how much? 200,000 naira. So meaning just by speaking to 5 persons within your system who will gravitate to this product, because a product that even if they decide not to sell, they can finish it in their house. Like my own was finished in my house. If they decide not to sell, they can finish it in their house, and it's not too expensive. We're not that expensive product that people put money, or those companies put high money on. We're not also a product that is selective. Like some of them, you see them, they are coffee. And me, I don't take coffee. And I know most of us on this board don't take coffee. And those coffee are very expensive. They're not even like Nescafe. Even though Nescafe has become very expensive today. The other time I went to the market to buy Nescafe, because I do coffee time to time. To buy one container, I paid 6,000 naira, a small container, which is about less than 500 grams, or about 500 grams. So these things are expensive. These are what you get a big carton. That if you can even use it for what? Your snack, your children's school snacks. And then you are not going to pay more than 7. Each of our carton is just, you will get it at 6,500 naira. That's the landing cost on your own. So meaning you can sell and make quick money. You can sell and have huge turnover. So everybody is a product everybody will want to register on that, because you are not just buying a product, you are making money. As you buy, you make money. As you buy at the cheapest price, the market price, you make money. So guys, it is something that we must jump into. We must jump into. So that's actually for referral bonus. Then the next one is matching bonus. Matching bonus. Matching bonus speaks about having matching bonus. What we meant by matching is having one of the levels, because in multi-level marketing is a pyramid. You are building from you, and then you are expanding down. And every level has a number of persons that will have to fall under it. Every level has just a number of persons that fall under it. When a level is complete, it is fully matched. And when it's fully matched, aside your referral bonus, you are given a well-done package. So when you fully match your first level immediately under you, you get a well-done package. And that one is what? The first level, when you fully match it, is what? 15,000 naira, thereabout. I'm actually not going to give you the naira under it. I'll give you the approximate. If you now match the next level also, which is the second level after you get the sum of 50,000 naira plus. If you match the third one, which is the third steps under you too, you get the sum of 204,000 naira plus, over 204,000. If you fully match the final one too, which is the last or the fifth one on after you get over 500,000 naira as a well done for it. This is just 2 out of the 7 ways by which you earn. This is just 2 out of the 7 ways. Is Davina Goldmine not being very generous? Guys, please, I want someone to, I hope I'm not talking to the mic or myself or the screen. Is Davina Goldmine not being generous? Someone should say something.
Yeah, that's beautiful to hear.
Thank you. This is just 2 out of 7. Just 2 out of 7. So I'll move us to the next one, which is your direct sales bonus. This is for me, for people like us who are salesmen. For those of us who knows how to tell people to buy something. This one, you don't need preaching. When you go there, cut one sachet, give the person, say, chop am. When you finish chopping, you tell the person, each one, I will give you each one less than 100 naira. If you sell 100 naira. Most abokis will buy. They will quickly buy. I even have a place in my area where their shop is almost shut down. My plan is I will go and hippie there and tell the men, don't worry, for each one you said, this is how much you make. They're almost doing nothing. Then I'll put an accounting system. In the evening, every evening I'll go down there and then I check how much they've sold and I'll collect the money so that they don't shortchange me. But what am I trying to let you understand is something that will sell like wildfire. So for those of us who are salesmen, it is time to actually plug into this one. So direct sales bonus means that for every 1 carton you sell, each carton contains 72 sachets. And those 72 sachets are given to you at 6,500 naira. So each of them is about 92 naira that it comes to you for each sachet. And we advise you, if you are part of our system, to sell to the people because we don't want you to go and do the job. Sell to their bookies at 7,000 naira and get 500 naira.